put my number out on her page that got 10 million followers. She did that. Putting everybody in our business, letting them know that me and Pap was together.
You're a piece of shit, Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of shit. This, right here, the gambling, the failures that you've had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to, you just turned 30 years old. You are a world champion. You are accomplished. You have made it from out the ghetto, from the slums, from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't got no kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. Well, why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man that doesn't have anything going, has no career, no job, no income, except for the income that he's claiming off of your percentage because he's your manager?
Just days after Claressa Shields sat down for that interview, laying it all out about her future with Papoose, everything crashed fast. In that moment, she sounded locked in and sure of herself. She talked about slowing life down, building something real, starting a family, and even having a baby with him soon. Her energy wasn't shaky or unsure at all. She spoke like someone who believed she finally had peace, love, and a solid plan in place. The way she explained it, this wasn't just talk. She sounded confident, grounded, and proud of where her life was headed. There was no hesitation in her voice, no second guessing. Claressa really believed she was standing on solid ground. But the second that interview started making the rounds online, the narrative flipped completely, and not in a good way at all. Suddenly, reports popped up claiming Papoose had already been caught cheating. The switch-up was wild. What Claressa had just said versus what the internet was now hearing didn't line up at all. The timing made it feel extra cold and humiliating, especially since her interview was still fresh in people's minds. Almost overnight, everything changed, and the situation got messy fast. Claressa went from being praised to being dragged in record time. Social media showed no mercy. Folks who once hyped her up started questioning her choices and judgment. Some said she should have known better, while others repeated that same old saying people love to throw around in situations like this. You lose them the same way you get them. The tone online turned harsh real quick. From the outside, the whole thing felt way too familiar. Papoose got with Claressa while he was still married to Remy Ma, and now people feel like history is repeating itself. To many, it looked like the ending was written from the jump. Still, Claressa seemed convinced that Remy was just reacting out of hurt and anger, not warning her of what was coming. And let's be real, Remy probably was hurt. Anyone in her position would be. But being hurt doesn't automatically mean someone is lying. Sometimes pain makes people tell the truth louder, sharper, and with zero filter. Remy warned Claressa more than once, and she didn't whisper it either. She straight up said Papoose wasn't serious and that his intentions weren't pure. According to her, he wasn't chasing love, he was chasing support. Remy claimed he stayed close to Claressa because she offered security, stability, and resources. In her eyes, that was the real attraction. She said Papoose was struggling financially and leaned on Claressa to keep himself steady. From Remy's point of view, he attached himself to a woman who was successful, disciplined, and respected because it worked in his favor. That narrative hit hard once people started connecting the dots. Now, a lot of folks feel Claressa ignored those warnings completely, but others say it's not that simple. They argue it's unfair to put all the blame on her, especially since Claressa and Remy were never cool to begin with. There was no trust there, no sisterhood, no reason for Claressa to take Remy's words at face value. Months before the cheating rumors exploded, things already got loud online. Remy shook the internet when she dropped private messages between Claressa and Papoose. She said she found them on his phone while he was knocked out asleep in her bed. According to Remy, he had fallen asleep during a call with Claressa and refused to leave her house that night. Remy claimed that once Claressa heard her voice in the background, she hung up immediately. Remy used that moment to clown her, saying it proved Claressa wasn't as bold or fearless as she liked people to think, and she wasn't done yet. Remy went on to say Claressa wasn't the only woman involved. She accused Claressa's PR team of spinning a fake storyline, painting Claressa as innocent, Papoose as loyal, and Remy as unstable. That accusation made everything even messier fast. According to Remy Ma, she begged Papoose to come clean publicly and shut down the rumors before they spiraled out of control. Instead, she says he told her to stay quiet and let the noise ride. Behind closed doors, Remy alleged that Papoose spoke badly about Claressa Shields, calling her unattractive and unappealing. She stood 10 toes down on her claims and said she had proof to back everything up, whether people believed her or not.
put my number out on her page that got 10 million followers. She did that. Putting everybody in our business, letting them know that me and Pap was together.
You're a piece of Papoose. You really are. You have turned into a piece of this right here, the gambling, the failures that you've had in your career or whatever that didn't pan out how you wanted to. You just turned 30 years old. You are a world champion. You are accomplished. You have made it from out the ghetto, from the slums, from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't got no kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. Well, why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man that doesn't have anything going, has no career, no job, no income, except for the income that he's claiming off of you, your percentage, because he's your man?
By the time Remy put everything on blast, the damage was already done. Most people didn't even know Claressa and Papoose were a thing like that. The revelation caught fans completely off guard. Some were confused, others were heated, and a lot of people didn't know who to trust. Claressa didn't stay quiet, though. She fired back online, questioning how a woman with multiple partners could be mad at a man who had a girlfriend. That response lit the internet up instantly. Claressa also asked why Remy kept tagging her instead of addressing Papoose directly. That one question turned a spark into a full-blown wildfire. For an entire week, timelines were flooded with takes, theories, and non-stop debate. Everybody had an opinion. Some defended Claressa, saying she was manipulated and caught in the middle of a messy situation. Others believed Remy was finally exposing what had been hidden for too long. A lot of the blame landed squarely on Papoose for playing both sides and stirring chaos. At first, he stayed completely silent. No posts, no statements, nothing. But eventually, he broke that silence. On Christmas Day, he posted a photo of Remy with her rumored partner, Easy the Block Captain. Papoose claimed that while he was home spending time with their child the year before, Remy was with another man. He accused her of being dishonest and bitter, suggesting she couldn't accept that he had moved on. He also alleged that Remy pressured him to keep a separate altercation involving Easy out of the public eye. That post sent everything into overdrive and pushed the drama to a whole new level. According to Papoose, the situation with Easy the Block Captain had nothing to do with jealousy over an affair. He claimed he reacted because Easy shook his hand while secretly dealing with his wife behind the scenes. That explanation only poured more gas on an already blazing fire. Things went left fast, and right after that, Remy Ma went live again, this time with no filter at all. Remy laid everything out and explained why she stepped outside the marriage and how she felt pushed to that point. She spoke directly to Claressa Shields, saying Papoose had nothing solid going for himself and only chose her because she was dependable and financially secure. She accused him of selling the public a fairy tale love story. While fans believed he stayed loyal during her prison sentence, Remy claimed he was cheating the entire time and even creating more chaos behind the scenes. She explained that she wasn't naive about how things usually go when someone is locked up. When she came home, she said she checked his phone immediately and knew something wasn't right. Remy recalled confronting other women at family homes and slowly realizing she had been misled for years. She also alleged that Papoose refused to admit publicly that they hadn't shared a bed since 2022 because he was obsessed with protecting a black love image. That part hit hard. Remy said she stayed quiet out of respect, even though it hurt her deeply. She also addressed the talk about Papoose being broke. According to her, the internet loves pocket watching without knowing real numbers. She insisted she paid for the house, handled the bills, and took care of their child while keeping things moving. Then Remy turned her frustration fully toward Claressa. She said she would never advise a young, successful woman to attach herself to an older man with no clear direction. She reminded Claressa of her accomplishments and questioned why she would settle for someone who, in her words, brought nothing to the table. That message landed heavy and left the internet split all over again. A lot of viewers felt Remy Ma went that hard because she didn't want Papoose slipping out of their marriage quietly without telling the full story. She wanted everything on the table, no shortcuts. But she didn't get the final word at all. Just minutes after her live ended, Papoose fired back, and he was heated. Papoose claimed he completely paused his own career to hold Remy down while she was incarcerated. He said when she came home, she cheated multiple times, not just once. According to him, he still wanted the marriage to work, which is why they went to therapy together. He said she broke every agreement they made behind closed doors. He also denied being broke, saying Remy regularly came to him asking for money. That claim flipped the narrative again. He then accused Remy of hypocrisy. Papoose said he wrote much of her music while she publicly criticized other artists for using ghostwriters. He claimed he never asked for credit or payment and stayed quiet for years. That part had people looking sideways. Papoose went on to say he drained his savings supporting Remy from top to bottom. Housing, storage, travel, daily prison visits. He said he covered it all. He insisted he never missed holidays and took care of the family without working for over a year. He also said the cheating wasn't a one-time mistake and that he stayed only for the sake of their child. He denied ever agreeing to see other people and accused Remy of lying publicly to flip the story. He admitted confronting Easy the Block Captain, saying he would have done the same anywhere he ran into him. He repeated that he paid bills, bought gifts, and financially supported Remy while accusing her of being overly focused on material things. Even with Remy's emotional delivery, some people now believe there was truth in her warnings about Papoose possibly using Claressa Shields. And now, rumors are already spreading that Papoose may be seeing another woman, someone even younger than Claressa. That alone has people watching this situation way closer than before. The rumors didn't slow down at all. In fact, they multiplied. Once people started whispering that Papoose might already be entertaining someone new, the internet went straight into detective mode. Screenshots, timelines, old interviews, and side-by-side comparisons started flooding feeds. Folks weren't just asking if he moved on fast. They were asking how long this had really been happening. The idea that he could already be circling another woman made Remy's earlier warnings hit a little different for some people. At the same time, Claressa Shields found herself in an uncomfortable spotlight again. Even though she didn't ask for any of this, her name kept getting dragged back into the chaos. Some supporters felt bad for her, saying she got pulled into a situation that was already broken long before she showed up. Others weren't as forgiving, saying the signs were always there. Either way, Claressa became the silent center of a storm she didn't start but couldn't escape. What really shook people was how detailed the accusations on both sides were. Remy Ma spoke from a place of pain and frustration, while Papoose came back with receipts, timelines, and claims of sacrifice. Each story sounded believable in pieces, which made it harder for the public to land on one clear villain. That gray area kept the conversation alive and messy. No clean heroes, no easy answers, just two people accusing each other of rewriting history. Another layer that kept popping up was the image versus reality debate. Papoose had long been praised as the loyal husband who stood by his wife during her darkest moments. That reputation didn't disappear overnight, but it definitely cracked. People started questioning how much of that image was genuine and how much was carefully maintained for public approval. Remy's claim that he protected a perfect love narrative made fans rethink everything they thought they knew. Meanwhile, the money talk made things even uglier. Accusations flew about who paid what, who carried who, and who really had control behind the scenes. Some fans pointed out that when finances become a scoreboard in relationships, it's usually a sign things have been broken for a long time. The back and forth over bills, savings, and support only highlighted how transactional their marriage may have become toward the end. At this point, one thing is clear. This isn't just about cheating or rumors anymore. It's about pride, image, power, and who gets to control the final version of the story. With new whispers surfacing and old wounds getting reopened daily, people are watching closely to see who speaks next, and whether the truth actually comes out or just another louder version of it. Nobody even knows where the rumors really started, but once the internet grabbed them, they turned into non-stop jokes and side comments fast. What made it sting even more was Claressa Shields' interview popping back up everywhere. She was talking about wanting kids soon, staying healthy, being active, and building a real future. Less than 24 hours later, cheating allegations hit the timeline like a bomb. The contrast was wild and honestly hard to watch. Now the mess just keeps spiraling. Opinions are split down the middle. Some people feel Remy Ma embarrassed herself by putting everything online. Others think she finally hit her breaking point and had nothing left to lose. One thing's undeniable though. What should have stayed private turned into full-blown public chaos. And right now, all eyes are on Claressa. Is she staying, or was this the wake-up call she needed to step back? So what do you think? Did Claressa ignore the warnings? Was Remy telling the truth the whole time? And where does Papoose actually stand in all of this madness? At the end of the day, this whole situation shows how fast love stories can flip when the curtain gets pulled back. What started as private disagreements turned into public warfare, and now everybody involved is stuck answering questions they probably never wanted out in the open. Claressa Shields didn't just get caught in gossip, she got caught in a storm that was already brewing long before her name entered the picture, and that's the part that keeps people talking. A lot of folks believe Claressa walked in hopeful, focused, and genuine, thinking she was building something real. Her interview wasn't messy, sneaky, or calculated. It sounded like someone planning a future. That's why the timing of everything hit so hard. Less than a day later, allegations start flying. Jokes take over timelines, and suddenly her words look painful instead of promising. That contrast made people feel uneasy, and for some, it raised serious red flags. Then there's Remy Ma, whose emotions spilled over in real time. Some viewers say she went too far and embarrassed herself publicly. Others believe she finally snapped after years of holding things in, protecting an image, and staying quiet when it hurt the most. Whether people agree with her approach or not, one thing's clear. She wasn't speaking calmly from a script. She sounded fed up, wounded, and done pretending everything was fine. And sitting right in the middle of it all is Papoose, whose silence, then sudden responses, only added fuel to the confusion. One side paints him as a loyal partner who sacrificed everything. The other describes him as calculated, dependent, and image-obsessed. The truth might sit somewhere in between, but the lack of clarity keeps people guessing. Every new rumor, every screenshot, every reaction just adds another layer to the mess. Now, the real question isn't just about who cheated or who lied. It's about patterns, power, and perception. Did Claressa ignore warnings because she believed she was different? Was Remy trying to warn her or trying to reclaim control of the narrative? And is Papoose being honest or just louder than everyone else right now? None of these questions have clean answers yet, and that's exactly why this story refuses to die down. So before you dip, make sure you smash that like button if you're riding with us, tap subscribe if you're a real one, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single messy update. Trust me, you're gonna want to be here for the next video.